welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be painting some spring roses. I'm really inspired by spring colors. I can't wait for warmer weather to get here. So I'm going to be painting some peach, yellow, and pink roses. And I'm just using whatever colors I already had on my palette. That's one thing that I really love to do, is just kind of play with what's already happening. I've already mixed some colors and I just like what's happening, so I might mix in a little bit here and there, but for the most part, I'm just going to use whatever's here. I'm lightening the color quite a bit just by adding some water. I'm going to start just by placing some little strokes here for my first rose. Okay, now I've got that in place, I'm going to start on my next one. So this rose is a little bit blobby, but I'm hoping that once this dries, I can add a little bit of detail in a second layer and try and make it feel a little less like a blob and more like a rose. So we'll see how it goes. Sometimes what I think is going to be a finished piece turns into a practice piece, and that's totally fine. I want you to feel like you have permission to not have a perfect painting every time too, because I certainly do not. I'm adding in a little bit of cobalt turquoise to my green. I just feel like that brightens it up quite a bit, and I'm adding a lot of water so that it still stays soft and translucent. I really like that translucent feel, especially with my leaves. I think it looks so pretty. So I'm trying to save this rose by just adding another layer right on top to try and help define the shape. Now I don't want to go crazy, but I do want to add a little bit so that it doesn't look just like a little blob. All right, so I've added that layer. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute while I keep adding a couple more details. I'm pretty close to being done. I know that I want my roses to really pop, so I think I'm gonna even add another layer of depth, but I have to wait for my paint to dry completely before I can do that, or it will just turn into a little bit of a mess. So I'm just kind of looking at my greenery that I've added, and I'm trying to decide if I want to add any more. And I don't think I do, but I do want to add just a few little details. I've got my size 4 round brush, and I'll have everything that I'm using listed down below. It's hard to know exactly what colors I'm using, especially when I use just kind of what's mixed. So I do have on my Amazon store, I have every single color that's on my palette listed. So you can go and look at that. If you have a specific color that you have a question about, feel free to leave a comment down below and ask. All right, this is almost dry. This one's dry. So I am going to make this super dark. I'm adding in a couple of different reds. This is deep scarlet. So now I've got this kind of rusty orange color. I'm gonna add in Payne's Gray to that. That's a little too brown for me. I want it to have a little more color. I don't want to put a brownish black on. So I'm just gonna add more of what I've already added. This red. I'm actually gonna mix with my larger brush because I'm not picking quite enough paint up. Whoops, wrong color, that's all right. And then a bunch of this yellow color. This is quinacridone yellow, or sorry, quinacridone gold. It's a really pretty color. And this is yellow ochre. All right, so now I've got this really deep rust color here. So I'm not adding a ton, just a tiny bit, and that really helps everything pop. And I'm gonna do the same over here with the same color. And up here. Not too much. And then I kind of like have to blur my eyes a little bit to see where I still need something. And I want something just here in the center. I'm just kind of tapping in some color into that wet paint. Ooh, that was a little too much, but that's okay. So when I get too much paint like that, I just kind of dry out my brush, and then I can soak that paint right back into the brush. So I don't have like a little puddle sitting on my paper. Okay, that was definitely the wrong color, but that's okay. I'm just gonna let it be. All right, there you go. I hope you learned something by watching my process. And if you found any value in this video, will you please give it a thumbs up? Don't forget to subscribe by hitting that subscribe button. Then you'll be notified when I post future videos. And I can't wait to see what you create. So be sure to tag me on Instagram if you share a picture. I'm at Snowberry Design Co. and my hashtag is Snowberry Tutorial. Thanks again for watching. Bye!